Good morning, welcome to Zwift Community Live, KRT Racer Focus, where we go inside the racing on the virtual cycling platform of Zwift. Welcome to everyone joining us. Of course, we'll be hanging out in the Facebook chat section today. As always, responding to your inquiries, comments, and of course your cheers and ride-ons. You can find me on Zwift if you are in fact connected via the mobile link app. Just search for my name here at the bottom of the screen and you will see me. Go ahead and give me a ride on. It always helps for sure to get those ride-ons in the ride. Lets people know that they have support during their suffering. This is an indoor cycling platform where all the avatars you see are connected to real-life bikes, much like I am here. They're all real people scattered throughout the world. I can see a few Koreans, somebody from Taiwan, mainlanders from China, a guy from the UK, a Portuguese rider. We're all represented here in the virtual world of Zwift, and today we're racing together 4 laps of the Watopia flat course. Going in the forward direction, I see Beck in the group, also a local here from the United States, from the Eastern Seaboard. He's actually a national champion in the Masters cross country category, just crowned earlier this year. So this is going to be a hard race. It's always a hard race here in KISS. We're going to get off to a raring start. We've got 25 miles of racing ahead, as you can see in the top right corner of your screen. Top left corner, you can see a couple things. One, watts. Right now it says about 150 watts. That is the power going through my legs into my power tap pedals. So I have torque-based power meter in my pedals, dual-sided. That's also measuring the cadence there, 83, 84 RPMs. And then I'm wearing a heart rate strap around my chest, 126 beats per minute. So that's going to give you some feedback about my performance. Then also, up there you can see a little blue circle. And that is an Aero helmet. So there are power-ups in this game. So for a short period of time, that's going to reduce the coefficient of drag and put me at an advantage against the other riders. So that's one of the main strategies. Other main strategy is knowing the course, knowing where people are going to go hard and how hard you have to go to stay with the group. There's going to be a tough one today with over 40 riders in the group already. And a flat course means there's not a lot of downhill, so the effort is just constant right from the get-go. So we'll do our best to hold on. Thanks Oliver Hugby. And Stefan wants to know if I should race in BCAT. Well, at one point I was in the BCAT, and then I set an FTP of 4 watts per kilogram. And I was also winning most of the BCAT races I was in, so I decided to upgrade. Since then my FTP is a little bit lower, but we still have a lot of fun and get pushed real hard, gaining fitness every day. That's what we're about here at KISS. And we're off. Got the ODZ boys in the group. You recognize some teams have kits. So my team are wearing this kit in the game. I gestured to me, to point to myself. Thanks, Greg Lee. Working on getting the stream smoothed out here. So yeah, kits in the game. We've also got ODZ on the point right now. Then there's also a PTZ rider, the Portuguese. Zwift team. Thanks, Robin. Positioning is critical. Master of positioning just behind me on course. That's Franco Battiato, the Italian. He knows exactly where and when to use his energy. And somehow he always comes out with a strong finish. So there is a bunch draft effect. So when you're in the bunch, other riders push the wind out of the way for you. And when you're behind the other riders, you get little signals whether or not you're out of the wind. So we're going to try to stay out of the wind as much as we can. Yeah, Oliver Higby says, beat the blob. Should get it stamped on my top tube here. That's what we're talking about here with the drafts. This group is rolling 50 k's an hour right now, just about, which is close to 30 miles an hour. We did just go down a hill, but nonetheless, here we are. 50 k's an hour, nobody's really pulling. Well, there's an attack going right now. Of course, Chris Beck does not like a boring race. Now he's on the point, drilling it. But for the most part, this is the blob. And without any one person doing a huge effort, the blob accumulates great speed. Morning, Richard Law. Richard says, watch out for Grabdoll. He's on PTZ. All right, thanks for the tip. I am just trying not to get drugged. We got Team Ian in the house as well. It's a triathlon focused team. Team Endurance Nation. All right. Got a right-hander coming up, followed by a short little uphill to get us out from the underwater tunnel. Want to be at the front. So I'm going to ride FTP to get up there. At least try to. There goes Jay. Now we're at the top of the hill, we got to stay on the gear. No recovery. Jerome and I just marking the move, making sure we get towed back up if any of these guys close down to Hodgman. Here goes Chris on the counter. I can't mark that. I'm just doing my best to blob. Jeffrey Creel from Down Under in the group, Team Ollie for the day. Ollie Jones winning a pro contract discovered on Zwift. Announced today. Check out Zwift.com for more on that. This is, you can see the gradient There's a false flat coming up. So now our legs are loaded up, and they're gonna wind this baby up. Wind us up. Turn the screws here. You gotta be ready. Anytime it goes uphill, you gotta have your head on the swivel. It becomes a 5-minute effort, basically, to get us from underwater to those lions. Attack. It's a 5-minute effort, basically. 4 to 5 minute effort to get from underwater to the hill after the junction. Oh boy. I'm smiling now, this is awesome. We're gonna go one more time after the curve. One lap done, 3 to go. Thanks, Richard. Now Creel is just supporting. We got the Hodges support wagon tending to the back. We're flying. Agree with Richard Law. It is more like a TT than in real life racing. For example, if you look at my watt distribution at the end, I'll have 0% of my time at 0 watts. Always pedaling. Thanks, Justin Hotspur. It's a messy sport. With 25 Ks to go, I'm dropped. Richard wants to know how often I race on Zwift. Twice a week, sometimes 3. I also, this winter, I'm doing some more Zone 2 stuff. So yesterday I did the Kiss at base ride, which is a base training Zone 2 ride. Everybody's got a different Zone 2, right? So you just form up with a group of similar ability and try to ride about 75 kilometers together. I really like that format. So I'm on Mondays at this time, doing that from now on. And that's really to just get my head back in it, give myself a break from smashing it up, because I just don't have the wherewithal to push through existential crises on every lap, like what happened to me last lap. I just can't do that 4 times right now. So I got a blob chasing me. They're about 2 minutes down. They'll probably catch me at some point. I'm just trying to ride tempo zone 4 or something here, like a time trial to the finish. But I got a couple issues right now. One is I'm cramping in my calves. And the second one is that I was sitting at a really high heart rate there for a while, and I've blown up. Yeah, Julian, I have given up. You're right. I got dropped, really. Self-selected. Honestly, I'd rather do that than blow up and then get really angry. But when there's 5 guys from one team in there, one of them's a national champion, all of them have an FTP pretty much 1 watt per kilogram higher than I do. There's not much really I can do. And I'm not sandbagging like the majority of people choose to do. So I'm happy. Got pushed to the limits there. Now I'm getting chased pretty handily by a groupette out here of 3. So I want to be recovered for when they come past, so I can just sit with them. Oliver's asking a good question. Is it better to do zone 2, 3, or 4 while you wait for the next group? I'd say I don't have a scientific answer, but I have an opinion. And if you think they're smashing it, and that you need to stay hot, you need to keep your heart rate in tempo, which is where mine is at right now. Even though my power is more or less zone 2 since I got dropped. Basically, I don't want to get cold and then have them come by at like 50 Ks an hour. But yeah, the blob is serious. When people are attacking the blob, it gets strung out, stretches the elastic. But I understand, you know, this is a competitive venture. People want to see me win, but not me, but just they want to see the end of the race, really. They want to see the front end. And to me, that's not what it's about. I'm just using racing as a tool to push my limits. Because in all due respect to Zwift, this is virtual. And, you know, it's its own can of worms. It's very different from in real life racing, very competitive, very hard. But I'm not putting too much weight on where I finish. I'm just trying to stay in the front group as long as possible. And then also to finish the race. 2 laps to go. Thanks, Kurt Cadwell. Yeah. Hanging on when I did in the way that I did is very difficult. Probably made it harder on myself by waiting a while. But yeah, on the flat courses, they just turn the screws, right? So instead of just snapping the elastic outright like those guys can do on a hill, they just wind up the pace and then they do surges and it just stretches out the elastic, and you really have to have some good power to weight at threshold to stay up there. I mean, I weigh 205 pounds, so you know, I can average 380 for 5 minutes and have it be repeatable, but it's hard when they're asking for 450, you know. Whew. So we're just waiting for the next blob to catch up. They keep attacking each other, which is pretty funny. I guess it's because it's 2-on-1. 2 guys from the +1S team. And then Lovell, who's now off the back. I guess the +1 guys are attacking each other. Yeah, I'm empty. So if you're just joining, we're doing a racer focus. What it takes to race on Zwift. From inside the race, from the rider perspective. That's me, I'm the rider. I'm squashed. I got dropped in the middle of the second lap. The pace was just too hot at the front, and now I'm struggling even to ride zone 2. So just gonna keep it easy. I think these guys will catch me just about on the hill. They're not too far back. You can see them on the map in the top right corner of the screen. But yeah, just making the most of it now, aren't we? Oh, yeah, it's even hard to hit zone 2. So I'm very much broken. Look at these guys behind me. They're pushing really hard. See, I don't know how they get dropped if they're just throwing down 5 watts per kilogram right now. How do you guys get dropped? 5 watts per kilogram for me is like 500 watts. Let's take a look. See what's going on here. 5 watts per kilogram at 350 watts. Well, good for you. They're coming up fast. Yeah, Oliver, I agree 100%. Oliver Higby's made a good point about how he's a heavier rider as well, but he prefers hilly races because you end up with smaller battles with riders of like ability, similar fitness. And you get a chance to recover, which is one thing I like. If you go up a hill, you got to go down it. We're about to go up a hill here, but it never really goes downhill. So there's no recovery. Here they come. And I do like those smaller battles than being in a peloton of like 50. And having people in front of you make mistakes and lose the blob. This is not going to be good. They're going to attack the... I was gonna swear there, but they're going to attack me. And it's going to be ugly. So let's see how we go. So we come in lap 3 out of 4 here. I see they're winding it up. Like I just said though, I prefer these small guys, small battles, small groups. It's easier to keep track of what's going on. Trying to play strategy as best I can. I'm not going to do any work until I absolutely have to. There we go. Alright, it's going to be a lot of that. Kurt, there's this time delay, so I can take thematic comments, but details like that are gonna get to me too late. Thematic is good though. I really appreciate you keeping an eye out for me. I think these guys probably know that I'm not strong like them. There's the guy in the B race that's doing 6 watts per kilogram constantly. Part of the game though. Gotta be ready for that and ignore it. If he's gonna throw away his race, then he can. But I ain't chasing, I'm not pulling him back. I will not pull this guy back. That's what teammates are supposed to do. Throw their race away so that somebody else can go up. But I'm not going to pull this guy back to his teammate because this numbers on me are not so good. I'm just going to mark Minghe or whatever his name is here. Make the most of it. Yep. Kurt, exactly. You just got to ignore it. It's part of the game. It's hard. It's not easy to do though. So if you can do it, good for you. Let's say Minghe's gonna go thermo here in a second. Try to get me on this hill and then bridge up to his boy up the road. Yep. I'm not having this crap. Called it. Said he's gonna go. And he did. So now we're just working plane strategy. We got 2 guys from the Chinese team plus 1S. They're working to break my legs. We got one up the road with a gap. Minghe's throwing his race away. He's gonna try to break me. in the back here. But I ain't gonna pull for him. I'm not gonna pull him back to his teammate. If he wants to win, he gotta earn it. He has to pull me back. Otherwise, bummer. Now there's a guy who's just, I think he's been coned. Some serious wads coming there behind us. We got Minami coming and the insurmountable Wataru. Minami's gonna catch us. Maybe I'll send him a message. Trying to get the game to refresh on my phone. Trying to get the messaging so I can, in case Minami speaks English, which he probably speaks English better than I speak Japanese. So I'll give it a go. See if I can get him to realize that we're working against team +1s here. Ming has just shut it down, so he's waiting for a big one, a big attack here. Trying to get a message through. It's not going too well. The app is just crashing, so we're just gonna have to hope he sees it for what it is, and we're gonna get on the Minami train in about 2 seconds here. See if he tries to attack past us. I love these small little races. I'm in dead last. Oliver Higby wants to know if I'm doing the Team Worlds this weekend. I am not. Did it last year. It's not my cup of tea. Last year I was in the front group of the Bees and we got sent on the wrong course. We took a wrong turn. And when you've invested training and planning and effort and all that, and you've suffered for 2 laps, you're in a breakaway with 5 of the strongest free riders in the game, and then it routes you on the wrong course. It's no fun. But that's bike racing. Yeah, it's really mostly because I really blew myself out last year and ended up like peaking in March and have not been able to get back to that level that I was at in March. I was doing really well in November last year as well, but I don't really have training goals. I just want to ride, and I think the best thing to do right now is to just ride a lot even if it's so-called junk miles. So I'm in a different place this year than I was last year, which is why I'm not doing the race on Saturday. So we're in the last lap, 8Ks to go. We got the Japanese Minami pulling the front, 4.6 watts per kilo. We got Wataru, the B rider, coming up fast. He's gonna catch us. I'm just gotta stay with this group. Got a critical course feature coming up. Little hill. With no recovery afterward. But I've been zone 2 for about 3 or 4 minutes now, so I'm pretty ready to go up a hill. Yeah, they're just riding tempo. There goes Minga. I ain't having it, dude. You ain't gonna drop me like that. Got the gap though. Come on, get around. All right, no more of that. Ain't working for these guys. All right, 3.5 to go. It's me versus two. And they have all the same situation. We're all soldiers, dropped off the back. This is where I really got to be on my wits. They will go for the Long Ranger. Ming has a cunning guy. Cunning. He's riding a great tactical race. And you know he's good on the tactics because he's making me angry, which is usually a pretty good tactic. All right, here he goes. It's coming soon. Just a few more turns to go. Yo. Oh. There it is. All right, that's it. Race over. That's what you can expect in a KISS race. You get dropped by a mad pack of 50 pros, more or less, domestic level elite riders. You get pulled back into a gruppetto, and you just gotta stay on your wits. You gotta stay on your game. Don't do any work that you don't absolutely have to do. Just be ready to throw down. I cracked 1300, Patrick. Wow. 1400 is the line I haven't hit. I have not passed 1400, but I weigh 200 pounds, 205, so it's hard yards, yeah. All right, let's check out the numbers there. As you get more people in a race, there's gonna be more gruppettos like that. We're just working on building up the numbers. 1,888 online right now. Pretty good, huh? Let me take you to the numbers here, just so we can get a little look at it. 1,357 watts, pretty good. You can see the first 10 minutes or so had very little blue. It was a whole lot of red. And I was just sitting way, way over threshold. A good 10 beats over. And made it into the second lap and popped. And then just sat on my own. Here's where the guys catch me. I don't mess around with any of their attacks. And then we come into the last lap, lots of attacks. I made an effort to try to drop Minami, but Mingo didn't work with me at all. He was trying to save up for his own attack. He made a few, and I just caught up with him. Got the heart rate up, and then Wabo popped it up at 181 at the end. Max at 1,300 watts, so yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, Eugene, you're right. But yeah, it's mostly just, that's why I'm doing a lot of base training this winter. Because I can hit that effort, but I cannot do it more than once. And some of these guys that have really good aerobic fitness or whatever, I don't know the science, but they can get up here and recover and then get up there and do it again in this part. And I needed this whole section to really kind of even remotely approach that level of intensity. So yeah, that's what I'm working on this winter, and I just want to spend time on the bike, not worry too much about winning and stuff. I just want to enjoy it, and really just kind of ease my way into competition, because this past year I definitely was like expecting to race every single race, and it didn't work out so good for me. So just trying to ease back into the in real life racing and to have fun with it before it just becomes a sort of a source of anxiety, right? Because bike riding is fun. So with that, we'll leave you all. It is Tuesday morning. Thanksgiving here in the United States on Thursday. Not sure if I'm going to go live. We shall see. But hope you all have a good rest of your day, a good evening out there in the Eastern Hemisphere, and we will catch you all next time. Appreciate you joining us. That's it for me, Ian Anderson, KRT Racer Focus here on Zwift Community Live, your official community partner for broadcasting on Zwift. We appreciate you. Right on.